Well, hey there, tubers. What's up? It's Lil Hipster, and it is raining cats and dogs outside today here in beautiful, what is supposed to be sunny Florida. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's gorgeous, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And the fall weather is starting to set in, so it's very good and wonderful because I just love fall, and I really thought that I would miss out on fall because I moved down here. But it turns out in Florida, it's not just like summertime, like all year round, like they do have fall, and it gets kind of chilly in the winter time, so that kind of thing. Yeah, weather. Find something more interesting to talk about, Mandy. God. Now we're down to talking about the weather. That's what we've resorted to in these vlogs. I wanted to make a video today again because I'm working on editing a really special video for you guys. It's about relationships, but it's going to take a long time to get done because I rambled on for like an hour in that video, and I got to edit out all my ums and so's and yeahs and all of that. So I just wanted to make one that I didn't have to edit today. And this video today is going to be a questions and answers vlog. And I'm very excited to do it because I've been wanting to do it for quite some time now, and you guys have finally asked me a few questions that I would like to answer for you about myself, or just about life in general, I guess. I got all sorts of questions here from my subscribers and viewers who I love very dearly. So here we go. The first question is from A. Castrejean 89. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so let me know if I'm not. And I guess her alias in real life is Ashley. She says, what is your favorite band and what inspired you to make music? So it's two questions, actually. My favorite band, I'm embarrassed to say, is Alabama. Alabama, like Tennessee River, mountain music, that Alabama. As a matter of fact, I forgot to get this before I started the camera. Hang on just a second. I'm going to show you something cool. Luckily, I only had to hit the pause button and not like edit that video. But this is my favorite band, in case you don't know who I'm talking about. It's Alabama. The boys in the band. Wild Country, as they were called back in the day. And this is one of my favorite albums. It's their live record, and it's like really awesome. So, oh no, oh, it's in here. It's just in the sleeve. I looked in there, I was like, oh, where did the record go? It's in there. Anyways, that's been my favorite band since I was 9 years old. And I have other favorite bands too who are kind of creeping up on them. I really love Sugarland. I'm like obsessed with Sugarland, you might say. And I also really love the Zac Brown Band, like over the moon for the Zac Brown Band. Love them. Snow Patrol is also one of my other favorites, and I also love Augustana. When it comes to like indie bands. And there's a really, really indie band called Sky Harbor that I met when I was in Nashville who I just adore. So yeah, those are some of my favorite bands. What inspired you to make music? It's kind of tough to say. A number of things, really. I always had a lot of trouble in school because I'm not necessarily really cut out for the type of like public school system learning that we have here in this country. I'm a very smart girl, but like I had trouble in school because I just did not fit into that cookie cutter, way of learning. And it really started to like overtake me when I was in 7th grade. I just really like crashed and started doing horribly in school. And I had been in band. I had played the flute in 5th grade for 2 years, and the principal had a meeting with my parents because the school was concerned. They were like, you know, Mandy's doing really horribly. And I had a great principal, Mr. Yoder. Best principal ever, hands down. And he told my mom, he was like, you know, she seems to really enjoy, you know, playing her flute in band class, and she seems to really enjoy singing in choir and stuff like that. And he was like, let's, you know, encourage her by putting her into more of those classes. And I also excelled in art as well. So he was just like, you know, let's ask Mr. Clark, who was the choir teacher at the time. He was like, I know 7th graders aren't supposed to take voice lessons, you know, but this is kind of a special case, and maybe we should ask Mr. Clark if he will give her voice lessons, which terrified me because I would like shake like a leaf if I had to like sing on my own, like even in front of like one person, you know. But Mr. Clark was nice enough to be like, yeah, let's give her a try, you know. And so I was the first 7th grader at Hillsboro Middle School in Hillsboro, Kansas, to be able to take voice lessons as a 7th grader. So that was special, and it just progressed from there. He got me to sing some of the solo pieces, you know, like in our like choral songs and everything like that. And I just got more and more used to playing and singing in front of audiences, and it just became my passion. And by the time I was in high school, up until that point, I had wanted to be like a visual artist. I had wanted to draw and paint and all that. But once I was a freshman in high school, music had just sort of overtaken me. And so I told my guidance counselor, I was like, drop all of my art classes and put me in all music classes. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. And she was like, Mandy, why? And I was like, because I want to be a singer when I get out of school, you know, and that's what I want to do. And I was just like dead set on it. And she was like, you're crazy, you know, because like musicians, they don't make a whole lot of money, and there's a very small chance, you know, that you're going to make it in this world as a musician. You know, a lot of them end up waiting tables, you know, which I did for a really long time. But I didn't care. I told her to do it, so she did it. And I majored in music in college after that. I graduated college with a degree and moved to Nashville and started waiting tables and simultaneously trying to work on my music career. Then I met Sarah Miles, and we got our band going and moved out to Florida. And now, lo and behold, I'm a professional singer. What do you know? It's a pretty cool little story, isn't it? Okay, this is a question and answers vlog, not a let's tell everybody about yourself vlog. Hippie Girlful, which is one of my favorite subscribers because she always comments on my videos, so shout out. She has a dreadlock question, and she says, do you have any frizzies? I have so many on the top of my head and it looks so messy. Is there anything I can do for this problem? I love your videos and I love your dreads. Well, thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you and I appreciate your question. There's a few things that you can do if you have frizzies on the top of your head. I actually do have frizzies. I don't know if you can see, like, see all that? That's just loose hair that shouldn't be there. It's just a natural thing when it comes to dreadlocks. It's just something you have to resign yourself to. You are going to have stray hairs, and they're going to be fuzzy, you know. It's tangled, knotted hair, and you just kind of have to accept that. But there are ways that you can cut down on the amount of frizziness that you have. And one of those is to wash your hair often, if possible. I wash my hair with Dreadhead HQ's shampoo, and I dilute it with water so it lasts longer. But this is great shampoo, and it will tighten your roots up, and it'll, you know, make your loose hairs dread into your dreadlock. I don't have a crochet needle because I haven't bought one since I left Nashville, but a crochet needle works too, you know, to like grab those loose hairs and pull them back in and tighten them up, and I do crochet maintenance every now and then. In fact, it's probably about that time for me to do it again. And also, you want to keep up with your clockwise rubbing, which is you just take your dread between your fingers like this, but closer to the root. See, I have my dreads up today. This was not a good idea. But you take your dreads between your fingers like this, closer to the root, and then you just rub them against your scalp like that. And then that will also take those neighboring loose hairs and like grab them and pull them in. So that's how you get rid of them. And you're not going to be able to get rid of them 100%. Like I said, they're always going to be there. So try and relax about it. And then the next question is from Gigi Tomato, which I love her as well, because she's just another one of those who watches my videos religiously and always leaves a comment. So I appreciate that, Gigi. Keep watching. Please, I need it. She says, LOL, I wonder what you look like with straight hair or curls. I'm so used to seeing you like this. I actually, before I had dreadlocks, I did have curly hair, like big loose ringlets. I had curly long hair. It was also really easy to straighten too. So, yeah, so I walked around with straight hair a lot, and it was like really long and silky, you know, and I don't want to brag, but everybody used to be like, oh, you have the most beautiful hair, you know, and then I did this to it, and I get different attention now. Everybody is like, oh, you have the most beautiful dreadlocks now, and I'm like, well, beautiful hair makes beautiful dreadlocks, what can I say? My grandma would not agree, though. She's always like, you used to have such gorgeous hair. Why did you do that? And I'm like, yeah, Grandma, now I have gorgeous dreadlocks. What can I say? Anyways, I have my driver's license picture here that I'm going to show you. And this is actually my current driver's license, but it was taken when I still had regular hair. That is me with my hair. And sometimes when I'm trying to like get into bars and stuff, or when I'm trying to like get a beer or something like that, they'll like take a second look at my driver's license and be like, this isn't you. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's pre-dreadlocks, but it is me. I'll give you one more look at that. But yeah, very crazy. I was going to put up more pictures, but then I realized, like, oh, I'm not going to edit this, so I'm not, like, going to do a bunch of pictures. Young and Hot 1990 has a scooter question for me, and it says, what kind of scooter are we discussing? It definitely matters. And they were asking me a question on my scooter journey videos from Nashville to Virginia. And yeah, it definitely does matter, because you definitely don't want to be on that kind of long distance road trip on like a 50cc moped or anything like that. My scooter is actually a pretty legitimate bike. It's a 125cc, and it is a Genuine Buddy. Genuine is also the brand that makes Stella scooters, which are top-of-the-line scooters along with like Vespa and things like that. So I guess my Buddy would not be classified as like a top-of-the-line scooter, but it is the fastest scooter in its class. So yeah, and it's great, and I've done 2 long-distance road trips on it now, and yeah, and I plan on doing more. My scooter will go 60 miles an hour if you push it that far, and it gets like about 100 miles to the gallon for gas, you know. So yeah, that's the scooter that I have. Let's see, Birdie250, she also has a scooter question. I'm assuming it's a she. Birdie kind of seems like a girl's name, so sorry. She says, do you have a CD player on your scooter? No, what I have is, I have these earbuds here, and I just stick them in my ears, and then, I guess I don't have my helmet in here, and then I just put my helmet on over that, and I stick this other end in my phone, and I just play music from my Spotify on my phone, and I just jam out the whole the whole way to wherever I'm going. So, and there is like nothing better than listening to music while you're riding, because it's just so cool. The music seems to always match up with like whatever is going on around you, you know. So that's how I listen to music on my bike. Let's see. Miss Undead Eyes has a vegan question for me. And she says, you said you're a vegan and you seem to not want to eat things that were once alive, but technically aren't plants living things too? You are correct about that, Miss Undead Eyes. Plants are living, and in fact, they are still living when you eat them. And that is the reason why I eat them, and that's the reason that I am vegan, is because I want to put living, nutrient-rich foods in my body. You know, there's nothing better for you than actually putting something that is living still, has living organisms in it, in your body. When you're eating meat, that's a dead thing. That is completely dead, you know. And so it's not really about eating things that once were living for me. It's about not eating dead things for me as a vegan. So, you know what I bet she's thinking right now? She's probably like, touche, little hipster, touche. Okay. Let's see. Driscoll. Oh, Dr. Riscoll. It could be Driscoll or it could be Dr. Riscoll. I'm not sure. He says, does anyone tell you you look like Lisa Kudrow? Yes. All the time. Lisa Kudrow is my doppelganger, and me and Sarah Miles were always watching Friends. That's one of our favorite shows, and everybody has a character on the show. Like Miles is definitely a Ross, and Sarah is a Rachel, and I am a total Phoebe. Like, I'm just like her, you know, like all of her quirkiness and stuff, and like even the way I look. So yes, people tell me all the time I look like Lisa Kudrow. Even like strangers at our shows have been like, you look like Lisa Kudrow, do you know that? Yes, believe me, I know. Okay, and the last question here is from Olivia the Elf, and it's about waitressing. And she says, can you make a video about when you first started being a waitress? I started my first job ever today as a waitress, and it was brutal. I have no idea what I'm doing really, and I need help. And Olivia the Elf, you were actually the reason that I hurried up and made this video today, because I did want to hurry up and help you, because waiting tables for the first time is no picnic, especially if it doesn't go well. So the whole job itself is really no picnic. And you know, when I first started waiting tables, my first shift I didn't really have a rough time because we weren't very busy, and I had some really nice people, you know, that I waited on. So I'm not going to tell you so much about when I first started waiting tables as like maybe like tips and everything that will help you when you're in really horrible situations. And the first thing that you need to learn how to do as a waitress is to prioritize and consolidate your steps, because you don't want people running you all over the restaurant for different things. It's going to exhaust you, and it's going to take up your time, and you're not going to be able to get to your tables quickly, and they're just going to get angry, and it's going to be like a big problem. So one of the most important things as a waitress is to consolidate your steps and prioritize. Like, let's say I have this table over here and they need a drink refill, and this table over here needs a salad and a crab setup, and then maybe this table over here needs to cash out. That is like a lot of things to do at once. So what I would do is like on my way to the kitchen to get all that stuff, I would go to the kitchen first, and then I would make the salad, and then I would stay in the kitchen and grab a crab setup because they're right next to the salad station. And then, you know, think to yourself for a second, am I done in this kitchen? Do I need anything else? No? Okay. Move on to the drink station. You get your table's drink refills, put everything on a tray so that you can take it all with you, and then stop by the computer and get that table's ticket or cash them out if they've already given you the payment or whatever, you know. And then you bring all that stuff out on the tray and you hit one table at a time. You say, here's your check, I'll be right back. You go to this table, you say, here's your salad and here's your crab setup, I'll be right back. And you go to this table and you say, here's some drink refills for you, I'll be right back. So it's just things like that. And then you see you did that in like one solid motion. So you need to be able to do that for sure. You also need to learn how to stay in control in tense situations. If you're busy and you're in the weeds, that might seem like the time for you to like speed up and like get in a big hurry and get all flustered. Do not do that. You need to stop. You need to take a deep breath, and you need to move slower, actually. Slow down your movements. You know, if a table has to wait for something, that's just tough cookies, because you're going to get to it in your own time. Do not let them rush you. You know, slow down, think about what you're doing, because if you make a big mistake in the middle of all that chaos, it's just going to be that much harder. So just slow yourself down. Think about what you're doing. And if you ever get overwhelmed, no matter how busy it is, go back to the walk-in cooler in the kitchen. Make sure there's nobody else in there. Shut the door and let out a big scream, because nobody can hear you in there. Or, you know, cry a little bit, pull yourself back together, just like whatever you need to do to take a deep breath and get back out there. You know, that's always a good thing to do. And also, as a waitress, if I ever saw one of my friends totally having an emotional breakdown, like somewhere, you know, I would drop whatever I was doing immediately and I would go over there and give them a hug, and I would be like, what's wrong? What can I help you with? So just remember that food, it's important to your livelihood because you need the tips to pay your bills and stuff. But food, in the big scheme of things, it's not important. And whoever that customer is at the table, you know, like waiting for something that you're supposed to be bringing, they can wait, because it's truly not the end of the world, you know. So when you're in a tense situation, slow down, take a breath. You know, and also don't let your tables make the rules and totally like overrun you. I definitely have had people in the past who have gotten very angry and started like cussing, you know, at me. And if anybody ever does that to you, like, don't forget like who you are. You know, just because you're their waitress doesn't mean you're not like a person. So don't let them talk that way to you. You know, what I learned to do pretty soon after that started happening to me is one time I just stood up to the dude who was cussing and carrying on, and I just said, sir, there's no need for that language here. This is a family establishment, you know. And he right away, he was just like, I'm sorry, I'm just really upset that nothing's going my way or whatever. And I was like, I know, but you will not talk that way to me. You will not, you know. And they backed down pretty quickly after that. So yeah, just some good advice. There was one other thing that I was wanting to tell you about waiting. Oh, always tell your tables the truth. If you mess up their order for some reason, don't blame it on the kitchen, because sometimes they'll believe you, but sometimes they'll be able to see right through it. And like, if you forget, I've done this before, sometimes I just like forget to ring in people's orders altogether until like 20 minutes later, and I'm sitting here going, where is their food? And then I'm like, oh, I didn't ring it in, you know. And when something like that happens, I used to always go up to my table and be like, I'm sorry guys, I forgot to ring your food in, and that's totally my bad, and I totally apologize for it, but I just rang it in now, and I told the kitchen and the manager the situation, and they're, you know, hurrying as fast as they can on your food. So I'm so sorry. It was totally my bad, you know. And more often than not, those tables were usually like, oh, well, that's a bummer, but thank you for telling us, you know, it's okay, we'll wait, you know, and there's really no big problem. And they usually ended up tipping me 20% anyway, even though I made like a huge mistake on their order. So always be truthful with your tables. And if you have to say something that's a little below the belt and maybe a tad inappropriate, make sure it's discreet and make sure you say it with a smile. My best friend Jonathan always said, you can say anything you want to a table as long as you say it with a smile on your face, and then they won't even recognize that you're being a tad insulting. So anyways, those are my best waitressing tips. I hope that you guys like this video. This is my attempt to sort of be more of a service to my subscribers and my viewers, and I really want to start doing more of that. So please, like, ask me more questions, ask me more advice. Another idea I was thinking of doing is I was thinking of getting a post office box, so that you guys can send me mail, because I would really like to receive your letters and maybe your artwork or just whatever it is you want to send me. And I'd really like to make mail videos so that I can be, like I said, I really have this urge to be like a servant to you guys, you know, like I want to, you know, make a difference in somebody's life, and I want to like be there for my subscribers and viewers. So yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Keep asking me questions and let me know what you think about the post office box idea, if you guys would actually send me letters or not, because I would love to do it. So alright, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, don't forget to eat your fruits and vegetables. Bye-bye now.